Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Chisme Chronicles podcast.
Episode 39.
Damn, we're rusty. We're rusty because we haven't filmed like in over 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we released an episode on Tuesday that we had filmed like 2 weeks ago. So I appreciate everybody in the comments and stuff and asking us like, hey, where you guys been? Or once we dropped the episode yesterday, like, hey, finally a new episode or whatever. So we are sorry for not posting episodes for like the last 2 weeks, but we unfortunately had a family emergency, and we had to go out of the country. But now we're back and we will do our best to be on a regular schedule.
For anybody that's new here, Roman's my uncle. So whenever there's family emergencies, both of us are out.
We both got to rock and roll, pack the bags. We got to go bag. Always just ready to go.
Family emergencies on a regular basis. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What's going on? Where are we going? Straight up had to fly out immediately.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the love and the messages and or the comments and stuff, and people saying that they're hoping that we're okay and everything.
Yeah.
And everything is everything's okay. But
we got a new one sprinkled in here for you little fiends.
A new what?
A new episode for you little fiends.
Oh yeah, somebody's like, finally a new episode. I'm over here like a crack addict.
Just waiting.
Yeah. Which is encouraging, which is awesome.
It was sweet. Yeah.
Super sweet. So for everyone that's like, well, who the hell are these people? And
I'm about to get out of this video.
Yeah, they're like, I'm about to click out because family member, who are you? Just read the freaking stories. Yeah, so I'm Roman. Kaylee is not Kaylee. She is Kaylee the Bandit.
That is my name on my birth certificate.
That's the name, Kaylee the Bandit. You don't need to know why. Just accept it for what it is.
And if you do need to know why, you need to go back and watch every freaking 38 episodes until you figure it out, motherfreakers.
Oh, damn. She's all aggressive. All aggressive.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so this is our podcast. Roman's my uncle, and what we do on this podcast is a lot of Am I the A-hole Reddit content, and every once in a while we will venture into another little subreddit. We will do Today I Effed Up, Petty Revenge, Mother-in-Law's from Hell, and whatever you want to tell us in the comments, we will probably take a peek at it.
Probably, most likely.
Probably because we really, really love you guys.
Yeah. So if you guys like that kind of content, do what you know you gotta do.
And usually, barring crazy family emergencies with international trips, we post every Tuesday and Thursday.
Don't ask us about what time.
Don't ask what time. If it's on a Friday morning, don't even ask any questions. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
I don't care what your calendar says.
Well, it's Thursday somewhere.
Yeah.
But it never is, because I think it's basically everywhere else it would always be future.
Yeah, day ahead.
Like everyone's a day ahead. Like
whatever. No questions. It's Thursday in my dreams. Okay.
It's like that. It's like the song. It's like, it's 5 o'clock. I think it's like a country song. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I don't even know the melody, but I just went with that.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a song like that? Like
probably.
It's about like
drinking. That's like a huge saying. So I assume somebody's put it in a song before. If that's not where it came from.
Look, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh, Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett.
Ooh, Jimmy Buffett. Oh, Jimmy Buffett just died.
He wasn't a country singer though, huh?
No.
He was like a punk rock.
He did Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah.
That is a country song.
That's a country song?
Isn't Margaritaville like a country song?
I don't know if it's country vibes.
I don't know, maybe that is a 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's gotta not be true.
No,
it can always be 5 o'clock somewhere. I don't believe them.
No. No, I don't think so. That song is bogus. It's lies.
A lie.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to sue Jimmy Buffett's estate. I was trying to say sue, and I was thinking Jimmy Buffett.
So let's rock and roll, right? Why keep the people waiting?
Yes.
They've waited long enough.
2 stories each. We're blind reacting to each other's stories.
Here we go. Story number 1. Am I the a-hole for complaining about my wife's culture of food in front of our children? I, 38 male, am married to a Lao woman, 34. My wife was born in Laos, and even after moving to America, her family made it a habit to embrace their culture's traditions. I like how he says, even after moving to America. Okay?
She refused to drop it.
Yeah. It's not looking good for this guy already. As a white man, born and raised in America, it has taken me a lot to get used to her cultural quirks throughout our marriage. We have 2 kids, 11 female and 7 female. Our youngest's birthday was just this past week, and my wife insisted we celebrate it how they do in Laos. I was reluctant at first, but in the end, I listened to all of her requests and decided to oblige so we wouldn't have to fight over it. My mother-in-law and wife told me that it was important to our kids, that our kids were involved in their culture. The morning of our daughter's birthday, my wife was downstairs making Lao desserts and food before the guests arrived. Some of these items had a strong odor that I recognized and with such difficult names to pronounce. Throughout being married to her for 14 years, I've had to sit quiet and just let her silence my own culture and not teach our kids about their American side. This day I had made it a point to say something. The guests had arrived, and I noticed some of them skipping over the food she had made. Luckily, some of the kids' parents brought small sweets along with their gift. While my wife was socializing, my mother came up to me and pointed out the food. I was so glad she agreed with me on this and urged me to say something. When guests started to leave, I asked my wife if I could speak to her. She told me I was being rude, interrupting. This was my last straw, and I blew up. I yelled at her, saying, "This food shouldn't be here. No one likes it. Stop making it." Both her daughters were beside her, and she waved them to go inside. She looked at me and bumped into me, following behind the girls. Later that night, I tried to tell her that it's important our kids know their American side as well, and she told me that there was no loving culture to learn about, and sent the girls to stay with their grandmother that weekend. She's been giving me the silent treatment this week and only making dinner for her and the girls. Am I the a-hole?
Oh my God. This reminds me of like the first thing in my head when you started reading this was that this has to be like a 90-day fiance type situation. Like, how do you marry someone of another culture and bring them to the United States and then be like, I hate your culture? Dude,
like that's basically what he's saying, you know, in like all like the complete like undertones of what he's writing. He's like, okay, I married you, but forget your culture.
Yeah.
Be
but
American.
You're still Laos.
Yeah.
I married you, but you're still from Laos.
Yeah. He's like, don't eat that food anymore. Yeah. It stinks.
Yeah.
Like, cause you know, he's like with this strong odor that I recognized.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, that food stinks.
Also, like to make a big deal of it at a party and be like, just like he planned that. He went to the bathroom. He's all, okay, I'm ready. And he came out and goes, nobody likes this food. It stinks.
Dude.
It doesn't belong here. Like, what?
Send this food back where it belongs.
What the heck?
Send this food back to its country. Straight up, dude.
It also reminds me, and I said that because there's like this clip that I saw from like this 90-day fiance episode where like this dude is like sitting he's an American guy, and he's sitting in his living room in America with like his parents are there, and then his like girlfriend is there that he brought from like Ukraine, and then she was like, or he was like, oh yeah, because like he's like basically like, you got lucky because like all the Ukrainian girls want to come to America. And then the parents were like, yeah, that's true. Like, all the Ukrainian people want to come to America. And the girl was like, what? Like, no, you idiot. Like, not everybody wants to come. That's not everybody's dream, you know?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, I think it is. And she goes, no, that's like saying every American is stupid. Like, it's an overgeneralization.
Yeah.
And they got so angry. Like, I think people genuinely think that. It's like, well, you're in America now, so assimilate quickly.
Yeah. Like chop.
Yeah. Dude, stop eating everything you love and that you know.
But it doesn't make any sense, dude. I think no, you know what, it does make sense because there's just like I feel like there isn't how do I say this? How do I say this while getting hot water? No, because like
there's no American culture. Is that what you're gonna say?
No. What I'm saying is like it's like people. I don't even know how to say this. What I'm trying to say is that like people don't learn about the history of America and like how this country came about. And yes, we don't have this incredible influx of immigration anymore, right? That where you have where you have people from their motherland, right?
Yeah.
Like straight up first
actual immigrants.
Like first generation Germans, Italians,
Yeah.
people from the Slavic countries, you know,
Yeah.
Spanish people, Portuguese. We don't have that anymore. So, but like the people that are still we don't have it. We don't have it. We still have that, obviously.
Yeah, but not in like droves.
We have first generation Canadians coming here.
Yeah.
We have first generation, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. Haitian. We still have people coming in, but like we were saying, they're just not coming, like it was before, where it was like everyone just freaking show up.
Yeah, because we have so much land and whatever.
And even though there are a lot of people still coming to the United States, whether they're coming legally or illegally, the percentage of immigrants coming here is different. So let's just say the same amount of people, because it's also not about people; it's about percentage too. If the same amount of people are still immigrating to the United States right now as they were in the 1800s or early 1900s or during the Industrial Revolution and all that stuff, if the same amount of people were coming, it's like putting 1 cup of water into 1 gallon, versus 1 cup of water into a swimming pool.
Yeah,
like the difference that amount of people is gonna come to the United States, it's not gonna have as much of a cultural impact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, me being second generation Mexican American, like I feel
You're
like
first.
First generation Mexican American.
Second.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I forgot that because I was making fun of you, huh?
Yeah.
Second generation.
Second generation.
You know, it's up there, but it's a little bit below.
It's up there, but you're a little bit. I'm a little bit superior to you.
A little bit better than you. Yeah. I'm just a little bit better. Like, what do you mean? In what sense? Just all senses.
Yeah. Just with everything, just all things.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean in all senses? I can smell better. I can taste better. Dumb.
Yeah, but we didn't. I mean,
my bloodline is better.
More pure. We're literally the same.
Yeah.
We're literally from the same family.
I know. Like, obviously, and your dad is like first generation too.
Also,
like, it's just the same. It's the exact same thing. It's like it's more Mexican. Put it under a microscope.
My skin's darker.
Yeah. So dumb.
No, but yeah, like obviously, like us being, Mexican American, not like you're first generation, I'm second generation, whatever. Like we were kind of like, we had to be like ingrained and influenced by like the Mexican culture, because it's like you don't have to be in like, you don't have to be shown the American culture. You live in America. Yeah, you're gonna get it anyways. Yeah.
So what I was gonna say too is that like, because I'm first and you're second and we're still so close, like we have an appreciation for both cultures, because like I can't tell you I'm only American. I'm not only American.
No,
I am Mexican. My heritage is Mexican, but it's also mixed with American, because like I grew up here. Like I understand a lot of the stuff here, like a lot of the, like it's I'm like I'm American with like a with like a little difference of because I'm Mexican. Just like if somebody came here from Scotland, like they would be American, but like they're so heavily influenced by their Scottish culture, like because their parents are feeding them,
raising them, their values, whatever kind of a deal.
Yeah. So like you're like a mix. But people that are like, my great grandparents came here.
You're like 8th generation. You're just American.
You're just like American now, without that like extra little spice from wherever you come from.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of that. So then, therefore, a lot of those people kind of forget what like America.
Well, because it just gets like slowly washed out.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all turned into like, what the hell are we talking about now? Because the 13th Amendment.
No, yeah, but I
the
feel
Miranda
like
rights,
and this ties back to like a lot of the other stories we've told, where it's like I just feel like a lot of like these like generation, or like when you're like first, second generation, third generation of something, it's like you feel like you're in America and you're Mexican, but then if you go to Mexico, you're American, and it's just like, okay, what the heck, It's like I feel like that leads to a lot of people being like, well, I don't belong anywhere, but it's just like you have to embrace that that's just what you are. You are a mix.
Yeah. So obviously the guy is a total a-hole.
Yeah.
It's just so weird, right? Like how he's kind of almost trying to suppress.
Just an idiot.
He's trying to suppress like the Laos or
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say
He's got to
it.
be from somewhere
The
like...
the Laoic culture. The Laos culture.
I don't know.
Or
He's got
Lao
to be
culture,
from somewhere like super like nationalist. Like I feel like there's some areas of the country that are like more nationalist, more like gung ho America, you know? And not that like you can't be that anywhere. And like, you know, I'm not like an America hater. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there's some people that are just like America is where everybody wants to be.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that's not the truth.
Yeah, that mentality is gonna be all over. Like all over the states.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alrighty, are we ready for the second story?
You are the a-hole and an idiot.
You are the a-hole and you need to be educated. Thank you. And go to college. Thanks. Okay. Oops, I almost read the wrong one. Hold on. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not fighting for my daughter to be a valedictorian? My daughter's school did not choose her to be valedictorian for graduation, and she is still salty about it. Her high school normally goes with the highest grade point average, but it can be any of the top 5 students if one demonstrated high academic achievement, like winning a competition. My daughter was the leader of and won a national robotics competition, and being in the top 1 or 2 students, she was sure she would be valedictorian. But the school broke away from their criteria by choosing a girl who had been in a car crash that caused by a hit-and-run driver. The girl wasn't badly injured, but her mom died from the accident, and she went on to finish the year with good grades. She wasn't in the top 5 students, and only took 1 AP class, where most of the previous valedictorians came from the IB or full AP course load. My son was valedictorian 4 years prior and also did full IB. So my daughter was really angry when she found out because she felt like it was unfair and also thought it was racist because kids and parents had been complaining that only Asian students ever get the award. According to her, the last 8 years, it was always an Asian who had won, and while my daughter is half Asian, so is my son, the school was trying to find a non-Asian to appease the families. She said it would have been okay with the other top 5 students winning, She said it would have been okay with the other top 5 students winning, but to give it to someone with just above average grades when the criteria was about academics made her feel like she and the other 5, which according to her were all Asian students, was discriminated against. I don't know if this is true, and I understand why it's unfair and even agree with her to an extent. But the girl lost her mother and still finished the year with good grades, and that should be recognized. Also, the valedictorian had been made public, and if my daughter tried to get it overturned, it would make her look like a sore loser. I did explain all this to her, but she told me she was going to MIT already with a partial scholarship, and everyone knew she was so smart it needs to be accepted, and sometimes unfair things happen. She was extremely angry with me for not going to the principal about this, and my wife was also angry because she felt that the school discriminated against our daughter. She is now in her first semester of MIT, and while she likes it, she says that most other people in her classes were valedictorians in their high schools, and she felt like she was robbed when she worked so hard. I know she would forget about it, but she still seems to be so angry about it, and she's not as close to me as she was before. Am I the a-hole for not taking this to her school when I could have?
Well, I think the school was wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think, I hate stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because okay, people suffer tragic things in life, but if there are rules, like if it's about academic excellence and there are 5 students that are killing it, competing for this, something tragic happened to someone, you can't then give them that award because they didn't work hard for that. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like that's really annoying. Like that really grinds my gears.
Roman's entire being operates on what is just.
What is justice? Justice.
Yeah. And I think
Brittany alone. I don't even know. Oh god,
dude, have you seen? This is a little bit off topic, but she posted a video of her
with the knives?
dancing with knives, and then in the next video you could see she had band-aids, she had cut herself in 3 spots. It was her hand, a little one on her thigh, just by accident, totally, but
oh my gosh,
so funny. Anyways. But okay,
Idiot.
so what was frustrating to me about that one was that like, sure, like I agree that like the school, if they wanted to recognize it, they could have totally done that. They could have just been like, hey, by the way, they didn't have to give her valedictorian. You make the rules up at a graduation. You can just be like, here's this person that did something really awesome and we're really proud of her, separately from the valedictorian
Yes,
thing.
yeah, you
like a principal's award, like a honorable mention,
or for damn it, I'm losing. There's like there was some kind of recognition for like a perseverance award.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like,
you straight up make up the rules, dude. You can make up anything you want.
Yeah, like, okay, valedictorian, you took the entire meaning away.
Exactly.
By giving it to someone like, oh, this is so sad, which obviously that's horrible.
Yeah.
But you can't do that, because then it just sucks for everyone, all the people that are working really hard to try to win that award.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it means something to them, and you rob them. Like, this is stupid, dude.
Yeah.
And like, if that was me, if that was my kid, like, I would have made a fuss about it.
But I think that the tough thing is that they found out about it when it was published already. You know what I mean? So it's like, now you do look like an asshole. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and whatever. I'm just saying you have to be comfortable with the idea that everybody's going to be upset, or not everybody, but a lot of people are going to be really upset with you.
Who is a lot of people?
I'm saying all the idiots, all the people that are wrong, sure, but like, now you're discriminating, and like, how dare you, this little girl's mom. It's not about that. It's not about the fact that this little girl's suffered like horribly, but that's what people are going to try and make it about. And like, you don't care. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I mean, I don't
know.
give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't give a shit about what happened to her.
Also,
I don't give a shit about like whatever your thought process is of what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
What's right is you give the award to whoever came out with the best GPA and whatever other metrics they're using. That's who needs to win the award.
But I think the tough part is too that this girl was like sure that she was going to win it, and that could be 100% true, but they don't. But no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like okay, well, you're fighting. They could just be like, your daughter wasn't going to get it anyway. No,
so for me, it would be fight for one of the top 5 contenders.
Oh yeah,
not for the daughter. Yeah. I'm not, you can't go and say give it to my daughter. No.
Yeah.
It needs to be who are the top 5 contenders, or if it's top 3, however the school normally does it, and it needs to go to one of them. I don't care if my kid doesn't win it. Mm-hmm. Because that's not justice. Mm-hmm. It's the right thing is for whoever were the top contenders, and however
for one of them to do it.
One of them.
But then it's also like, okay, but then if they go, okay, fine, in this scenario, right? They go, okay, fine, and then it is your kid that ends up winning it. Then it's like, then it's still ruined, because then it's like, well, you only won because your mom went and took it away from this other little girl. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even count anymore. So it's like, don't give it to my daughter, give it to one of the other 4, because like it doesn't even count anymore. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I feel I would feel horrible.
This is what I would do.
That.
I would be like, I would go and talk to the board, the school board, or the principals, and I would have a meeting set up with all the parents that have kids that are in the running for valedictorian.
If you can get in contact with them,
it's a high school. Like,
you're gonna find them on Facebook or something.
No,
like they're all driving themselves and stuff, you know.
Who are the top 5? Who are the top 5 kids that are competing for this? Oh, blah 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 blah, whatever. Mm-hmm. You're the 5.
Yeah,
you caught that.
My eyes got a little bit big.
No. If anybody didn't catch that, I was just saying like blah bling blah bling bling, like just whatever the hell their names are.
Yeah.
Not connecting it to the fact that supposedly the top 5 kids were Asians. Like, I totally forgot that part. I was just saying kids in general, like whoever those 5 kids were, and then I realized, oh wait, I think in the story she says that they're like,
I saw the thought process.
Yeah, like it clicked.
I saw when you realized.
Yeah, I was like, oh crap. I was like, oh crap. She said they were all Asian, and I'm over here bling bong bling bong bling, and I'm like, no, that's not. I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
None of that. Yeah.
None of that. Just none of that. Whatever their names are, and wherever they come from, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I feel like that's easy. You know what I mean? Like, I could solve that. I asked my daughter, what are the names of the 5 students? Cool. Tell them that to give me their parents' contact information, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all the parents together, and I'm gonna get the board, I'm gonna get the principal, and I'm gonna get the freaking the dean of the school district, and I'll be like, yo, what you guys are doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give it to the top 5 kids that
One of
show
them.
show me the top 5 GPAs.
Yeah.
All these kids have 4.2s, 4.3s, 4.1s, and now you're gonna give it to somebody who has a 3.2
Yeah.
or a 3.0.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make any sense?
It doesn't. Yeah.
You're not
I
gonna
would
win
be
this
incredibly
argument,
frustrated.
Kaylee.
No.
You're not. No.
I'm not-
No.
I'm not arguing against you. I'm just saying that I feel like there was no.
Drop down in the comments if you agree with me.
I agree with you. I was just saying that I was upset because I feel like there was no fair way out of it where you don't come out looking like an a-hole to some idiot people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not that
But
you
then
are
they're
the
idiots,
a-hole.
you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
idiots,
And that's
so.
totally fair. Yeah. No, everybody was voting that. I was upset because everybody voted no one's the a-hole. But like I think the school's the a-hole.
Oh, the school's the a-hole. 100%.
Yeah.
100% school's the a-hole.
Yeah. And but like I think it
They
was
shafted
maybe,
everyone.
I think it was nobody between the dad or the mom or whatever and the daughter. Like, I think the daughter was right to be upset, but I don't think that the parent that posted is the a-hole, even though he or she didn't go to the school. I think it just seemed like a really tough situation. And also, it's like you only have so long to act, so it's like you can't really, like, make, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta make up your mind overnight kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think they're the
tough.
a-hole. I think it's like you could have acted, but I don't think you're the a-hole for not acting because it was a tough situation.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. On to the next one. Okay.
Story number 3.
Story number 3. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that people are allowed to look annoyed by her toddler and baby on a plane, and that it's entitled to say they should feel sorry for her because it's even worse for me because she made the choice to take them on the plane? It says, I'm well aware fathers are equally responsible for their children, and her husband was with her on the flights, but he wasn't present for the conversation, and it was only with my sister, so focus is on her. My sister Chelsea has 2 children, 22 months and 6 months, and last month her and her husband decided to go on a holiday to Europe before they'd have to buy a seat for the kids. She said the kids were terrible flyers and basically cried the whole way on both trips. We are from Australia and wouldn't settle. She has made a lot of passive-aggressive posts on social media about how entitled non-parents are about kids on planes and how people need to have more sympathy for moms because they are suffering more than they are because their babies won't settle and being a parent is hard. She's been kinda whiny in general since she became a mom, always complaining about how hard it is, and she makes a lot of snide comments to me about how it must be nice that I sleep in, etc., because I've chosen not to have kids. The plane situation came up when I saw her last night. She started talking about it again and asked her if something specific happened or if someone was rude to her about the kids, and she admitted that they weren't really. People just looked visibly annoyed as the kids refused to settle, and on one of the flights, the person next to her asked the flight attendant if there was anywhere else she could sit after a couple of hours, and looked really disappointed when told there wasn't as the flight was full. She also said that they were rude because none of them offered to help her or give her reassuring smiles and comments. I said that people have the right to be annoyed at a baby crying the whole way from Melbourne to Singapore on a flight that leaves at 1 a.m. in the morning and lands at 9 a.m. And she went off saying that they don't and her kids have a right to fly. I told her I never said they didn't. Just that people have the right to not be thrilled to be seated next to her infant who cries the whole way, and that they don't have to feel more sorry for her than themselves because she is responsible for bringing the kids onto the plane and created the situation. I also said that no one but her and her husband are obligated to look after their children on a flight, and it isn't fair to expect the people around her to help with them. She stormed out and complained to my parents, who backed me up. But our other sister started dogpiling me too, so I just went home. Am I the a-hole?
Oh my gosh. I don't understand. How do you get on a plane that leaves at 1 a.m. and expect, like almost, I don't know, expect that somebody's going to be like, oh yeah, like I see that the babies are crying, so I'm going to help at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Idiots.
Also, I don't want anybody else touching my babies on a plane.
This person is a complete
I'm not handing
dumbass.
over my baby to somebody on an airplane. Like,
I'm just going to go hard. Just dumbass.
yeah. It's really frustrating.
Dude.
No, it is frustrating because people are stupid. And like people have kids and be like, it takes a village. This is not your village.
Yeah.
This is not your village.
You need to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Yes, having extended family available to help if they want to is cool.
Yeah.
And having your kids around their grandparents and their cousins and their uncles and their aunts.
Or really close friends that you're watching them with or something, you know, like.
Yeah, and even if they're not watching them, but just like your kid, that when people say it takes a village, I think about like my parents watched me.
Yeah.
But I got to spend time with my cousins and my uncles and my aunts and my nieces, you know, and my grandparents. Like, yeah, that is the village. But doesn't mean that village is the one that's taking care of the kid and providing for the kid. No, you as a parent take care of the kid and provide for the kid.
Yeah.
Like the village is not responsible for the kid.
Yeah, or at least I know it's like different in other cultures, and like genuinely people do like parent other people's kids and stuff, even just like in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But
in our culture, you take care of you're not entitled to any help from anybody else. And I feel like that's like also influenced because like I see a lot of videos like on TikTok and stuff of like, oh, this like old lady, you know, like my baby was crying on a plane and like this old lady that was sitting like a row back, like picked her up and she stopped crying and whatever. And it's like, okay, but she didn't have to. She's really sweet for that. She didn't have to do that.
Dude, there's just one time that I was coming back I was on a flight and I was do I say from where?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I was on a flight and this was like the first time that I ever experienced a migraine. Mm-hmm. I remember like I was getting a headache and it was getting stronger and my cousin was dropping me off at the airport and I was like, yo, what's up with this? I've never felt this before, like this horrible pain in the back. Cause there's like different migraines, you know, but like mine was in the back and cause when you said like this older lady and I was there and like, I don't know, this older lady sat next to me and she, you know, was, hey, where are you going? Where are you? But whatever. And I was like, oh, I was visiting my cousin. You know, he was here. He's stationed here or whatever. And you know, for some reason I told her I think I might have asked her if she had a pill or something. And I think she gave me ibuprofen or something. And then she started like massaging the back of my head. She's like, oh, I can do these pressure points or whatever. And they hurt, but it was like helping. Mm-hmm. And she probably did it for like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. You know, while we were like taxiing and like while waiting and all that stuff, like she hooked it up with like the pills but she was like, maybe it was like 20 minutes of like putting pressure back here. She's like, oh, why'd you do this? And then do that. And yeah, it just reminded me of that. Like this older lady who like hooked it up, you know, just like.
Basically old ladies on planes are angels.
Dude, angels, dude.
Yeah.
My favorite people to sit next to.
No, yeah, but I and also like the whole comment about like the dirty looks thing. It's like like as people, that is how we show that we're dissatisfied in the most like passive way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
she's like this sucks.
Yeah, like please like and I know it would feel horrible to be the mom in that situation, but like people are allowed to do that. Like they're almost like asking you in the kind with just like one like kind of dissatisfied look, they're asking you in the kindest way like, please try harder, this is horrible for everybody. Yeah. You know, like
and the thing is that like, and if you can't do anything, like obviously you have
can't
kids,
always try harder, but
I have kids and I've flown with kids. Luckily they've been pretty chill most of the time. But if someone had a kid, that they were being wild, I mean, I understand that person is doing whatever they can do. Yeah. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, but looking like it's not your job to like not look dissatisfied. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like especially what if you had that migraine on that plane? What if you're going, you know, what if you're traveling for something unfortunate and you just like wanted to like have like a little bit of peace for like a second?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that person could be like overwhelmed, overstimulated now. But okay, it's not your fault as the person that's going. Not. And it's not the kid's fault or the parent's fault with the kid. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. But the person that was said, hey, can I sit anywhere else? That's cool too.
Exactly.
That is totally cool.
I would totally
ask.
To be honest, if I had a kid that was freaking out on a plane, I would be hoping that they can sit somewhere else, because first of all, I don't want you miserable sitting next to me because I'm just gonna feel more guilty, and also cool, more space for my kid.
Yeah, totally.
So they can maybe chill out a minute.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, so I think the parent there is the a-hole. Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't make like, oh, dude, that kind of thought process makes no sense to me.
No,
and it's like the kind of people that do this. They say this. She says, She said something like, oh well, you know, they don't have to, you know, be happy or whatever, or I can't remember what she said, but where the sister goes, my kids have a right to fly.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
Oh, I said, people have the right to be annoyed. Of course they have the right to be
exactly.
annoyed. Well, my kids have the right to fly. Well, nobody freaking said they didn't.
No, but they're crying, and it's a little bit annoying, and it sucks for everybody. It sucks for you. It sucks for everybody else. Whatever. But also, this is kind of a little bit not as big of a deal, but that kind of almost frustrates me. And this is not a big deal, but I don't know why it frustrates me so much. When people say like, if you'll go like, oh, I'm tired, or like, oh, I don't have any money for that right now, or just like random like normal little complaints, or there's no time or something, and somebody goes like, wait till you have kids. I hate that. Like, it aggravates me to my core, dude.
And also like it must be nice. Like, fool, you decided to have kids.
You decided to have a child. You actively, you have a child now of your own choice, like of your own volition. It makes me so upset. Idiots. It makes me so upset, but it's okay.
Yep.
All right. Story number 4. Okay, this one's good. I like this one. Am I the a-hole for expecting my girlfriend to support me while I'm on unemployment? I lost my job 4 months ago, and I don't know if you know what that is.
An EI.
Is it unemployment? I don't know. I don't know if it's like unemployment for like a specific state or something. But yeah, anyways, I lost my job 4 months ago, and EI doesn't cover my full living expenses. I had to buy a car since mine had 330,000 kilometers on it, and the engine issue that it had wasn't worth fixing. After that, I had a couple thousand saved, and that has been completely wiped out, and now I'm not able to cover all of my expenses. I asked my girlfriend to help me cover expenses, and she refused because I didn't propose before this. We had been dating for 3 years and moved in for 2. She told me she had 3 dates in that she expected to be engaged in about 2 years of dating, and it was very unhappy with me because I didn't propose. I'm sure she's the one. I'm just still hesitant about marriage, and she has told me that she is trying to get over the fact that she wasted 3 years with me. I told her to give me some time, and she has thankfully not pushed it. This was shortly before my work announced that they were cutting people and I was let go. Now she says I'm expecting too much from her since I'm not ready for marriage, but expecting her to help me with rent. We have been dating for 3 years, and that doesn't count for something. If it was a year in, I'd understand if it was too early, but we had been together for a long time. But she told me it was meaningless because I haven't proposed, and she refuses to help me, as I could just decide I don't want marriage and bail at any time. I could have bailed at any time while dating, and can still bail after getting engaged, but I didn't and I won't. We've been serious for a long time. Why is the ring and marriage all that matters? I told her she won't help me, and it's shown that I've told her since she won't help me, it's shown me that she isn't serious, and she told me it's fine. We can just end the lease and go back and live with my family if I can afford rent here. I'm getting interview requests back and didn't interview already. I didn't interview already, although I didn't get it. It's crazy to me that she would waste 3 years over covering a bit of rent, over covering a bit for rent and groceries. Am I the a-hole?
But waste 3 years?
She's saying that she wasted because she's like, well, you won't propose, like whatever. I've wasted 3 years on you.
I thought she was saying we can move back in with my family, or
no.
So I kind of understood like, oh, they were gonna move in together.
They've been moved in together.
No, out of that apartment since they can't afford rent.
Oh, no. She said. I told her since she won't help me, it's shown that she isn't serious, and she told me it's fine. We can just end the lease, and I can go back to live with my family if I can't afford rent here.
Oh, but like broken up.
Yeah. Or not, but just like, well, whatever, we can't live here anymore, so figure it out for now kind of situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been together for 3 years. She's salty about him not proposing.
But I think that's what makes him the a-hole a little bit, is because she literally told him 3 dates in. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be proposed to in 2 years.
No.
Yeah, I feel like that's very fair.
Dude.
That's like, because that to me is like, it's like, okay, like, we're 2 years into dating. It's been very serious. You know, like maybe if you never talked about it again, then like, But I assume that this has been a conversation that's happened more than once.
But like, I mean, if somebody's like, oh yeah, I need to be proposed to in you know, by 2 years. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, we just, you know, I'll do it when like it feels right to me. Like,
or at least he
like
needed to have a conversation with her and be like 2 years in and be like, I'm not ready for this, to then give her the choice to exit.
Man, that just seems so like unnatural to how a relationship works. And like, I told you 2 years in.
I'm not
and then
saying
it's like
2 years on the date, but I'm saying a whole year after that.
Yeah, but like, I'm not even thinking about that. Like me personally, I was obviously that this is it's all about opinions. I'm like, I'm not even thinking about. I'm thinking about it when it feels right, not like, oh, she wanted it at 2 years, so it has to happen at 2 years. That just feels like unnatural.
Yeah, maybe, but it feels like, I don't know, like that was like her standard, like her requirement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it's like okay, like for example, I have a rule about dating where it's like, if somebody doesn't ask me like officially to like be going out, or like to be like exclusive or whatever, to like be boyfriend girlfriend after a certain amount of time, then I get frustrated, and like I don't even, like, I feel like, okay, they're not serious, I don't even want to be here anymore. You know what I mean? And so maybe that's why this like resonates with me. I don't have like a rule about marriage, because like I feel like maybe, like, I think that it's also different maybe because like I'm pretty young, you know what I mean? But if I was 28,
yeah,
then I'd be like, hey, I if we're gonna start dating right now, I need to be engaged by the time I'm 30. You know what I mean? Maybe if I was like 28 or something, you know, it's like, oh, I want to be married, I want to start having kids, I want to start a family.
I feel like that happens. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Like, okay, on the third date, this is where I'm at. Like no, that just seems.
I'm not saying, I don't assume that she was like out of the blue. I assume it was like a conversation, and it's like, you know, kind of, what do you want?
Yeah, but on date number 3 though.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't make sense to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, not out of the blue, but like in a conversation about what you expect. I'm saying at date number 3, that's too soon. I feel like if you're getting to know someone and you're dating, and then like, okay, once it's like, because at date number three, you probably, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like you date someone over a couple of months. I'm not talking about 8 months, but like, because at 8 months you've already talking about a lot of stuff. You know, but like even at 3 months, even at 3 months in, you're like, okay, well, clearly we like each other. We've been dating for 3 months already. Things are going pretty good. Like, you know, and then, you know, you feel it out and figure out like whenever you want to talk about that topic. But
I feel like if, for example, if you're 28 years old or something, right? Or I don't know if he said his age, because like I think that's why I have this opinion.
Because at 2 weeks, you don't even know if you even like that person.
But if
or on date number 3, you don't even know if
if you like them on the third date.
No, you don't.
I feel like you.
I'm not talking about
you
physically.
Know if you like, no. I feel like you know if you like what they've been presenting.
Yeah,
by the third date.
But yes, I agree. You would not agree to go on a third date if you didn't like what you saw on date number 1 and number 2. Yeah. Right? You wouldn't go on date number 4 if you didn't like what you saw on date number 1, 2, and 3. But what I'm saying is that's not enough time to know if you even, because you could be dating someone for like 2 months, 3 months, and be like, oh damn, like, now I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that, and I don't really, which comes from time. There are so many.
But you're
things
not saying, but in my head, she's like, okay, because like on the third date, she's like basically being like, hey, by the way, like this in my mind is also just showing that like I'm dating you because like if we basically I'm dating to get married, you know what I mean? Because not everybody's dating to get married, you know? So it's just like basically like that's what she's saying, and she's like, these are my expectations, I'm ready to like for something serious, you know what I mean? So it's like that is something for me that I would say very early on. Because like, why am I going to waste 3 months on you if like I'm in my mind dating to get married, so now I'm getting really committed and serious about you, and in your mind like you're just
no, even if I'm on the same,
you're gonna move in 6 months.
But even if I'm on the same page as you, but then you hit me with the, by the way, I need to be proposed to in like about 2 years. I'm like, that to me is, oh, what the hell? That just threw me off. Like, because like now you're putting a time on something that to me doesn't have a time. It's like you do it when you feel it and it's right, and you're also now kind of like, well, not that she's demanding from him, because you know. If he didn't want to do it, I just think it feels weird. That's all I'm saying.
I agree that it feels weird. I just think that he knew, she said that, and he knew that this was the expectation, and then they continued dating, and he didn't follow through. And so now he's upset that she's upset, but it's like, she told you that. She told you that this is what she wanted. You knew you were disappointing her because you had this in your mind. You know what I mean? So like, don't be angry that she's upset. You didn't follow through on her expectation, and you didn't tell her that you weren't going to follow through on her expectation. See what I'm saying? I agree that it's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
But
yeah, a weird thing.
A weird thing.
But like, I mean, the point is that like, am I? I don't even remember what the question was. Am I the a-hole for what?
For expecting my girlfriend to support me while I'm on unemployment.
Yeah, to support me. Am I the a-hole for expecting her to support me? I'm gonna say that like. For expecting, yes. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
You are the a-hole for expecting her to support you, because even though you guys have been dating and you've been living together for 2 years now or whatever, she's not obligated to do any of that.
And he's like, I had to buy a new car.
Yeah, I mean, she's not obligated to do anything. So,
yeah.
like when we were dating, there was a time where I asked Caro to let me borrow some money. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, when I get my student loans or whatever, like, or whatever, this and that, like, I'll pay you back. Yeah. She's like, yeah, cool. She let me borrow money. And then like, I paid her back, I paid her back. And then, basically, like, we were all good before I think we got married. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that's not right. I don't remember actually anymore. If I paid her.
If I ever paid her back.
I don't remember if I paid her back or if it was just like, yeah, well, we're together and we're married and like all our money is combined is the same anyway. Yeah. I don't remember that anymore. But obviously if we wouldn't have gotten married, I would have paid her back. Mm-hmm. If we would have broken up or something, like I would have paid her back because I'm not an idiot or an asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had her bills, I had my bills. Some people when they're dating, they operate as as a married couple or as a partnership, where they're paying for everything, and we didn't. She paid for her stuff, I paid for my stuff while we were dating, and then
once you got married, you combined stuff, which is like good, and that's But I just feel like I don't know, like he's like, oh, like I'm sure, like basically he's saying I'm not sure I want to get married. So she's like, he's like I'm sure she's the one, but I'm not sure about marriage, which is like.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't want to give you any, like, yeah, sure, she's right. Like, I don't want to give you money. Like, if you could just kind of like bail on me. How long am I going to be supporting you? Did you present me with a plan? Yes or no? You know what I mean?
Like, am I going to get paid? Am I going to get this money back?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he's the a-hole for expecting her to pay when she's like, I don't have to pay for you, bro.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like, I don't know.
Broke
he's
boy.
Like, oh, I got a new car, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, sell your car. Get a cheaper car. You know what I mean? Like, try other things. He's just
right.
Like, what do you mean you won't pay my rent?
Yeah. What do you mean you won't buy the PlayStation 5?
Yeah. Also, what if she can't afford it? Like, maybe she can't afford it. Maybe she's only, cool with paying her half of the rent. And now she's like, well, yeah, now we can no longer afford to live here, Right. I don't want to dip into my savings for that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. A-hole.
Yeah, he's a-hole.
Thank you. I turned him to the light.
Well, it's because I felt like we were talking about like something. Not that I was gonna say he wasn't the a-hole.
Yeah.
It was just like this tangent that was like separate from the actual question.
Yeah.
But at the end, I'm always right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how long this episode was.
First episode back in a minute, so we might be a little rusty.
Had a couple technical difficulties, but you won't even notice.
Unless we forget to cut it out again.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I'm like 99% of the people don't even know this, but like only the ones that saw it, right?
Yeah.
Like there was that one video where we messed up, and I was like, oh, I'll just cut this out when I upload it. And we're like, oh yeah, cool. And I was all excited, edited the video, uploaded it, and then it's like, oh, new comment. Like, oh, what did they comment? And then it's like in quotes, don't worry, I'm gonna edit this out. I'll take it out. And I was like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, I left it in the video.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Editing learning curve.
But you guys missed it. You'll never see it because I deleted it.
You'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. So that's it for the episode. Boom. Done. And we'll see you guys next week on the next episode. Peace.